Welcome to Triple Threat, the podcast with Jermel President, where it's good news and good vibes all the time, baby.
When we left Portugal to come play with you in your system, Jermel, it was the best thing for Shane because you pushed him to do other things outside his box.
You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Jermel President and on Twitter at President Jermel. Make sure to subscribe to this podcast as I'll be bringing you a new interview every month. Hey, what's up, guys? Coming up next, we got Mr. Do Yourself a Favor, Clever, whatever you want to call him. It's Mr. Ricky Willis from the Mike Hostilo Law Firm. Ricky and I had a great conversation. Actually, I went down to Savannah to meet the firm. Rode all day with Ricky, listening about stories about his come up, how using his craft as an artist, as a personality, to be a brand ambassador for Mike Hostilo in the Savannah, Beaufort area. In our conversation, we merely talked about the preparation of being a professional, having the opportunity to have big dreams, and then finally get an opportunity to live those dreams. And big ups to Mr. Willis for putting that together and creating a whole outstanding market for the firm down in Savannah. But we're collaborating and making a lot of things happen. So anywho, let's get into the interview. What's up with you?
You know me, man. Cooler than the other side of the pillow and crazy as a cock roast. Nothing changed about me, brother.
That's what's up. I've been waiting on this day, man. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good stuff right here.
Man, it's been a long time coming, brother.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So all right, we're gonna get started, man. This episode right here, this podcast is definitely to welcome the Mike Hostilo Law Firm into the Charleston area, and then talk about Mr. Clever, Do Yourself a Favor.
That's right. That's right.
His lifestyle, how the way he got incorporated into the Hostilo Law Firm. And then talk about the partnership with the DAE Foundation and Mike Hostilo. So I appreciate you for coming on and let's get it going.
Appreciate you having me, brother. Let's ride.
All right. So, what we do, we try to start from the bottom to the top, and having the audience talk about, where you're from, where you grew up area, and just kind of how Ricky Willis kind of got on the scene. So frame that for us.
All right. So I was born in Savannah, Georgia, 1970. I was raised in Savannah. My parents also, after Savannah, we moved to New Jersey. From New Jersey, we went to Albany, New York. So being raised kind of up north and down south, I consider myself a country boy with city wits, being raised in both sides, both sides of the map, and being able to experience and see different cultures, so that I'm officially a country boy with city wits.
That's a good way to put it. Not saying that us country boys don't have wits. Right?
No. When I say that, what I mean by that,
I'm just messing with you.
From the north, I learned to pay attention to what's going on, sure, around you. Keep alert. From the south, I like sweet tea and lemonade and front porches with swings.
For sure. Yeah, because
and hospitality, right. Man. It's a blend.
Up north, you got to be more alert, because it's like, that's why I say it's a faster pace and a slower pace down here. So yeah, you got to be on the swivel.
And so I was blessed enough to have both of them, the mixture,
For sure. Now, a question for you: were you an athlete? Did you play any sports coming up?
I was on a swim team. I never really got into the sports because I was more music guy. I played in middle school and high school. I played saxophone. I played in a jazz ensemble where I played the the drums, the bass guitar, keyboard. So I always been into music, man. And my dad played bass growing up in my life. So dad was the music side and my mom wrote poetry. So that's why I'm rapping, you know.
Gotcha. So take us back into the, elementary, middle school years of young Ricky, man. Shape that for us of, because back then, I mean, you got the, who was a couple of artists out there? Who are the artists that you grew up on that you kind of mimic? Most athletes kind of grew up on other athletes. So who were the guys that you look up to?
Yeah, man. So I would like to think that the Will Smiths. So sometimes people ask that, who do I think I am as an artist? I tell them, if you put Will Smith in the blender, because Will Smith only did clean rap and he's a very great lyricist. If you put Rakim in that blender, because he's going to give you a message. He got bars and he's going to give you a message. If you put Slick Rick in that blender, because Slick Rick is a storyteller, so Slick Rick is going to give you a story and make you want to listen, whether you want to listen or not. He's going to make you want to listen. And then I put Eminem in that blender too, only because he changes up his flows and changes up his styles, and his level of skills is just crazy. So if you put Eminem, Slick Rick, Will Smith, and Rakim in the blender, you got clever.
That's a nice little mix. So
yeah, man. At least that's my perspective.
I share that with you. You know what I mean? Take us to the high school years, man, because you moved around a lot. Where did you spend high school at? Was in Georgia?
I ended up going to high school at Alfred Eli Beach High School in Savannah. So I'm a Bulldog for life. Bulldogs, you know how it is. If you know, you know. So I graduated in '88 from Beach Bulldog, from Alfred Eli Beach High, and I mean the high school era. So I am definitely different than I was in high school. In high school, I was the Gazelles, if you remember those. I was the Lee Glove shoes, the kind of like the penny loafer type shoes. I was the briefcase dude. I was Jerry Curl dude. I kind of got bullied on a little bit. Until they realized that one of my cousins was, a beast over there. So I had no problems after that. But I was trying to be a lover, not a fighter, man. And so I was that guy with the briefcase and a tie and the Gazelles, and that was me.
For sure.
Jerry Curls, I messed up a lot of shirts, but don't judge me.
So in the high school years, and talking to athletes, most of them, go from high school to college and kind of pursue their athletic career. What did you do after high school? Because I know we talked about when I went to Savannah and I first met you, we talked and we caught people up. I mean, we caught up, but I want you to catch the people up in that time frame from, after high school, before we get into the more of the professional side of things. Because everybody got to start from a come up, right? For example, after college, I rode a bike. You know what I'm saying, for 2 or 3 years until I could really figure it out. So coming to high school, not having no money, college not having no money, those things. But then we turn it around and we come up. So from that time period for the grind start really happening.
I've been in after high school, I got into hospitality, hotels, and so I kind of worked in the service industry, hospitality industry for 30 plus years. And so I was working at hotels, and at one point I was working 3 jobs. So I was living on the south side of town. And I remember working with my uncle doing construction from 6 in the morning to 11 in the morning. He'll bring me to my house. I'll take my bike and I go to the mall where I worked from 12 to 4. Wow. Get on my bike after that and ride downtown where I worked from like 6 to midnight. And I did that for like 7 months, man. And at this time, who's my wife now, she was my girlfriend at that time. We were living together. So it wasn't about just Ricky. I had responsibilities. I had to make sure that as long as she was with me, that we were taken care of.
For sure. And that's the thing that, the whole point of, the conversation and talking, because people don't understand there always is a grind. You know what I'm saying?
It's
There's
a
always,
grind, bro.
always to come up. And when you say the perfect thing about making sacrifices to get to the next level so you can do what you want to do. And I don't think people hear that enough about the sacrifice you got to make, because you didn't want to work 3 jobs. You wanted to
I did not want to ride that bike every day.
Exactly. But
down no busy streets.
Exactly. So when we talk in our conversation, we talked about the whole pivot career turn. I think I'll let you tell it, where you were working at this one place and you end up meeting Mike. Kind of
Okay.
frame that for us.
So I was working at Savannah Golf Club. This was a part of my hotel hospitality experience. I was working at the Westin Savannah, and one of the general manager from the Westin went over to the country club. He was like, Rick, I got to have you over here. So I went over, and the country club life for me, that's kind of interesting too, because I got 3 promotions in 3 days. The first day I was there, I was a busser, while picking up the plates and all of that stuff. The dining room manager was like, first day I was a dishwasher, excuse me. I was a dishwasher the first day. Then he was like, you seem like you got some personality. Would you like to bust tables? I was like, sure. So now I'm busting tables, and he's still seeing how I am communicating with the members there. And then the next day he was like, you gotta be a waiter. You gotta be a waiter. I said, okay. So I did the wait. I waited on tables for a while. I was there like 9 years, 9 years, I think. So I was a waiter for a while. Then I went to the bar. And from the bar, that's where I found home. I started in the bar as a bartender, and I ended up the food and beverage manager. I'm the beverage manager over there at the oldest country club in the United States. That's Savannah Golf Club, 1796, I think it is, or something like that. Wow. But so I used to have auto detailing business, and I used to detail a lot of the members' cars. And so one of the guys, Bruce Taylor, I used to do a lot of stuff for him, house sit, do all kind of stuff for him. He was really cool with Mike. And so Mike needed something done, needed somebody to go pick up a car or something like that. So Bruce said, why don't you get Rick together? So I did it. Me and Mike started, he took a liking to me, took a liking to each other. It was real cool. And then one day he came and he said, Rick, they told me you rap. Do you rap? I said, yeah. And at this point, because I know I've been rapping for a while, right? At this point, I said, yeah, man, I'll write something, turn you to a household name. At that point, I'm just selling myself, because I have no idea what you want me to write about. I just know that I can write about it. I said, I'll turn you to a household name. So he said, well, we're going to talk. So then he shot me some information, some buzzwords he wanted me to say. I put together the first Mike Hostilo rap, and a lot of people say it was history, but I'll say it was our story.
I didn't always know this was going to be my calling. But when it did, it hit me like a ton of bricks. It's not about the money. It's about getting people what they deserve. It's about getting people what's right. My name is Mike Hostilo. If you've been injured in an auto accident, call me.
Well, check this out. I know you don't got no problem doing it, so let the audience hear that first, because I know you do remember it, right?
The first rap says, been in an auto accident or simply a mere wreck. Do what's right, call Mike and get a settlement check. Mike fights for the people. When this is true, and when you can't come to Mike, Mike will come to you. So do yourself a favor and listen to me and call 844-GET-MIKE, Mike Hostilo.
And when I told you this story, I was in a barbershop the other day getting my hair cut, because I haven't really before I really told people that I was, working with Mike and starting a partnership. And in the barbershop, that popped up like, man, he hit the bar. He's like, yo, it's that commercial again. He's like, no, listen to it though. And here I'm in my chair, I'm listening to what they say. And he's like, yo, my man be having content. Those commercials have actually content. You got to listen to it. So that goes back to what you talked about earlier about those 4 artists that you kind of help you get your kind of flow, and it's very effective for you now.
Yeah, man, I have a lot of fun, and you know, in my writings the stuff that I write outside of Mike, I like to make sure that I am saying something to you, right? So if you give me 2 minutes of your day or 2.5 minutes of your day, I don't want it to be gibberish. I don't want it to be my favorite thing about telling people my raps is after I finish, they repeat something I said.
Yes.
That meant that resonated with them. That meant they caught it. That meant they was listening and not just, that meant they heard me and wasn't just listening.
Right.
You know, and so to me, that's what's important. Like I'm really not a fan of the gibberish, man. I like to say something, and every opportunity I get to say something, that's what I'm gonna do, man.
That's what's up. And you got that voice, man. You got that up north down. You got a mixture of the up north and South Florida. So I mean, your voice is like, you know, it's very, very, very clear, and it just grabs you and holds you.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. Crazy thing is, I hate the way I sound when I listen to myself.
Everybody does, man. I don't even listen to my podcast. I hate the way I sound.
I hate the way I sound when I listen to myself. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been a good journey, man. I cannot complain, Jay. Cannot complain.
For sure. So, and my next thing is the next topic is a big win in your life, right? So, frame a big win for you per se. For Ricky Willis, what's a big win in life for you?
Let's say, okay, a big win. A big win for me would, I mean, I have so many, man. I'm so blessed, right? It's just crazy. One of my big wins would be my family connection. Because my family, my core, and not just my aunts, cousins, uncles, or, you know, because I come from a big family. Dad is one of 11 and mom is one of 21. So my family is huge, right? Like my family is huge. Like I've never seen all my family at once. So, but not even that. It's just my core, like my daughters, my son-in-law, daughter-in-law. We are such a tight-knit family, man, that like Father's Day and birthday, Pops, what you want? I just want us to be together. And we always have such a blast, man. My family is so down to earth. I like to tell people, if you meet my family and you don't like my family, something wrong with you.
and you're right about that, because the time we spent, and I met your wife and your daughters, and one day it's all wholesome, right? It's nice, genuine, you know, receptance of the company there. That's awesome.
Yeah. You're supposed to feel welcome when you come into my home. If not, then I shouldn't invite you.
That's awesome. That's the better way to put it, bro. Accolades, right? Because I know you just got a couple of accolades from being the best commercial in the area. Talk about those accolades and how did it make you feel as not as a person, but as an artist? Because and speaking to Mike, we talked about the commercials, because back in the days, commercials was outlawed for lawyers, right? So right now, being that you're getting the best commercial and all these accolades from your skill set, now, how does that tell us about the accolades that you've gotten over the years, and how does that make you feel as an artist?
In Savannah area, won the best commercial 6 times in the last 13 years, 5 years in a row. I did once. And it's just, I'm humbled and I'm honored, right? Because like I tell people every day, it's just as well as people like the commercial, people could not like it too, right?
Right.
And I mean, and I'm not oblivious to think that everybody loves the commercials. I know it's some people that don't like it, but the love and the support I get from the people that like it, it's just an amazing feeling, man. And I'm humbled because they don't have to like it. So when I meet people a lot around town, they be like, yo, you a celebrity? I said, I ain't a celebrity. I'm family. I'm family, baby. I'm family. I'm the guy that's gonna be riding down the streets, see some people out there rapping. I'm gonna get out the car and go rap with them. I'm gonna see the kids playing jump rope. I'm gonna pull over, get out, and I ain't really no good jump roper, but I'm gonna have fun with them, right? And so I'm just trying to show that I am relatable. I'm connectable. I'm family, man. You know, I appreciate when, you know, when, I mean, I know what people mean when they say that, and I get that, but from my perspective, I just try to angle it more as I'm family, man. I'm cousin Clever.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, Mike Hostilo.
Let's get it.
Mike
Let's
Hostilo.
get it.
I told him we first met. I was going to Tanga for some things. You know what? God is good. Timing is perfect, because whenever you get in your car, you're going somewhere, and whether if you're in a rush or not, if you forget something, you be like, I don't feel like going back. It upsets you, because you be like, I'm on the way to go again, and I got to stop. Or you see the yellow light and you like try to beat it because you don't want to set the red light. But that particular day, Rick, I remember I was relaxed because I was in a rush going to get a pair of sneakers, right? Because I had an event that evening. And I'm like, I got a little time to blow. I'm just relaxed. But the crazy thing about it is that when I parked and walked out, Mike was walking. So had I not went back to get what I needed, had I tried to run that red light, I'd have missed out on a career opportunity that could have been beneficial for the community and for myself. So
timing is everything.
Timing is everything. So I gave him a car. We spoke, got on the podcast, and then boom, it's history after that. So talk about your relationship and talk about the great work that not only that the business does for Mike, but Mike as a person.
Mike and I have been knowing each other now almost 30 years. And I always tell people that the person you see on television is actually who he is, right? Because I'm one of the people in our company that knows him personally and professionally. Right. So his wife used to work with my wife. Like I know him, And so it's the person you see in Mike, that's just who he is, man. He don't camouflage for TV. He's not changing his game to be a different person on television. And, Mike is a real lover of the children and giving back to the community. He is, if it was a situation where it was a matter of, he only had one option, and that was the option of doing something for adults or doing something for children, he's definitely doing something for children. He's done so much philanthropy in our areas. One of the touching things I remember is we did this event called Trikes for Tykes, where children with like cerebral palsy who can't really ride a regular bike, they can sit on the bike and pedal the bike with their hands, like the pedal was up top. So they do that. I remember we go into an event they questioned us, they sent us some stuff and asked us about joining. And Mike was like, anything I could do to help a little kid, man, to child. And so, it's just, and, he's just solid, man. He's solid. And I promise I'm not saying it because I'm an employee. I promise I'm not, it's just who he is, man.
For sure.
I'm honored to, to call him a boss and a brother,
For sure.
If I said that, he would, I'm not your boss, he'll say that. I'm your brother.
So, and talk about the events that you got coming up. All right. The book bag drives, talking about helping kids in school and all that. Talk about the book bag drive and events that Mike Hostilo Law Firm is bringing on.
So this weekend, Saturday, we got the book bag drive going on in Macon, Georgia. Then the following week, we got Friday in Columbus, Albany, Georgia. Then that Saturday will be in Augusta, Georgia. Then the next week we'll be back in Savannah, Georgia. Then the week after that, we'll be in the beautiful city of Charleston. Yes. So I like to call this. So one day I was, I think this is year 7 that we've been doing this. And so I told my mother, I said, Mom, look, I made it on tour and I don't even have an album out. So this is my book bag tour, man. I, every city I'm gonna be there, just, supporting the team and just, seeing new people, saying hello to old friends. And it's just always a pleasure to be able to give back. And it's nothing like when you see a child smile, or even just to know that it's a situation where a parent is struggling and don't know how they're going to make this happen for these children. And then, Mike presents his stuff and put it so that the children are able to go back to school happy, man. And so I get to take a bunch of pictures with people and have fun and just clown and be Rick. I'm just a big kid at heart, man.
For sure. In this timeout message, we got Mike Hostilo.
People laugh at us or frown at us or make fun of us because I'm the guy jumping around on TV. But you know what? If not for that, I wouldn't get to help all those 35,000 plus people I've gotten to help in almost 30 years.
Exactly.
So it's given access to people that are just like me. Because at the end of the day, as fancy as I may become in this world, I'm still going to be that kid from Laurel Bay.
For sure.
Shooting free throws, trying to make Ted and Roan his front yard.
For sure.
Right? Right?
Sure.
And my dad yelling at me.
Now let's get back to the interview. And you said something about the book bag drive coming here into this new Charleston market, which is growing every day. What's your take on the extension of the Mike Hostilo Law Firm expanding to the Charleston area? Listen,
so this will be our second year doing it in Charleston, and last year it was an absolute hit. I think we changed the game in a little bit, because I don't think that a lawyer has done that yet in that area. At least that's what I was told, that a lawyer had, I think we had upwards of 500 plus children. We had game trucks, food trucks, we had vendors, I guess a bunch of, it was just a lot of people. One prominent guy, I won't say his name, but he's a pretty powerful person in the area. He said, "You guys are going to make other attorneys have to step their game up." And I was like, "Yo, man, that's just." But the thing is, what Charleston saw from us is what we do all the time. It was new to Charleston, but not new to us. That's just, our that's how we move. We make sure that we try to continue to show VIP treatment and give everybody the VIP experience, man. And a person can't remember what you said to them, but they'll definitely remember how you made them feel.
That's true.
And so we try to make sure that everybody feels the love, man.
That's true. That's awesome. So that segues to our next topic, which is the partnership between DAE Foundation and Mike Hostilo. We're very excited, honored, again, to, people talking to me, how could DAE Foundation basketball hook up with the law firm? But they don't understand the community focus that we're going to be doing, bring a lot of helping families. I help student athletes' families. You guys help families when they're injured. So that's the whole focus. That's the whole play of how we're going to really help brand Mike Hostilo in this Charleston area. And Mike said, and he lived up to his words, helping the DAE Foundation get to the places we need, and so we can be more helpful to communities and families as well.
Man, I think it is an awesome partnership, man. I think the merger of the two power teams are because, like you said, we help on one aspect, you help on another aspect, but we both help. And then when you think about the car accidents alone, you're thinking about adults, children, whatever. When you think about what you do, you're thinking about adults, children, young adults going into the rest of their life. And when you think about the philanthropy and the stuff that Mike is doing with Hostilo Helps, that's thinking about the same, the children and the young adults and going into adults. So it's an awesome merger. I think the city is going to be overwhelmed with the experience they get from this collaboration. I see nothing but great things. I'm honored. I'm so happy to be a part of a company that's affiliated with the DAE Foundation, because what you're doing is real good, man. Like prior, and we had conversations about this. It's just everybody don't have the same spirit and heart, and the spirit and heart that you have to be able to and want to give back to the community and these children and help them grow. And I can see in the near future I'm gonna be like, where you going? You be like, I'm going to the Knicks and Lakers game. I got front row seats because one of my, So I'm not really into sports, but yo, take me with you, fam.
Sure, for sure. You already know. We're going together. We locked in now, babe.
That's it.
So when I talk to athletes, I talk about they go to the high school, they go to college, they end up playing professionally or not. But then it's also called the afterlife, right?
Right.
And your situation being the afterlife of coming through the high school, the trials and tribulations, wanting to be a artist at a young age, end up turning around to be an artist at the end, at your later on in life. Talk about the afterlife of, not so much to say you're so relaxed, but talk about the transition, right? Because we always wanted to work hard to get to a certain point, and then we could appreciate life.
Right.
Talk about that appreciation of where you are right now, having built a name for yourself, building a brand for yourself. Talk about that, how that's affecting you, and how do you appreciate that?
So I am pretty grateful right now that I didn't become an artist when I was younger and trying to be an artist, because now I'm at the level, and not that I couldn't grow into the level, but now I'm to the level where I only do clean rap. I only write clean rap. I'm not changing it. That's all I'm doing. It was a situation where celebrity rapper came to our area, and they wanted to so they reached out to me, and it was like, Rick, you're a local celebrity. We'd like to have you opening up for this super celebrity. And I was like, for sure, I definitely will. And they was like, well, what kind of content do you have? I said, well, everything I write is clean. She said, do you think you could change your content for one night? I said, not a chance. She said, we were going to give you $2,500. I said, I got $2,500. Now, if I'm being honest, if I had been an artist when I was younger, and she would have offered me that $2,500, I probably would have said whatever they wanted me to say. But the fact that I'm blessed and I'm in a position of life to do what I want to do, I can definitely decline that. And I tried to explain to her that I cannot consider myself a clean artist. That won't be the legacy I'm able to leave if I'm always chasing the dollar, right? If you can wave a check at me and make me do what you want me to do, I can't have a legacy of clean art, being a clean artist. So with that, I'm grateful that I am into the level that I started writing. I'm glad I got serious about it. Let's say that, because I've been writing for a long time. So I'm glad I got serious about it when I did. And now the content that I put out, the things that I say, I know it makes sense. I know I'm not doing any mumble rap, I'm just, and so I'm grateful for that. And all the time people see me, because they know me from the commercials. I've been doing the television commercials. I've been on television for 13 years, right? So people will see me and they'd be like, do you really rap? Then I'll say something to them like, my friends call me clever because they said I was gifted. I never thought it was better, just always knew it was different. I couldn't hide in the crowd. Trust me, there's no doubt. Because when I try to fit in, I stand out with more bars than the prison. It's just the way that I'm living. I'm taking my opposition and making them sit and listen. Got a problem with clever. Don't be a coward to say that, but don't be talking all crazy on tracks like I'm going to play that. I hit them in the head with the verses and make them lay back because I bought my vowels from Vanna, then I told Pat not to say Jack. So the fact that they didn't hear any cussing, any gibberish, anything, they're like, oh, you cool. Most people, if you don't know, you don't know, right?
Right.
And so it's fun for me to be able to showcase a little bit of my art to people who love me for one thing, and then realize, oh, really? I didn't know.
Right.
And so.
What does it take to be a champion? Hard work? Passion? Experience? Nah, it takes winning. So if you're injured, go with the guy with the winning record.
I'm attorney Mike Hostilo, and I will never back down.
The most important message to get across to student athletes suffering from mental health issues is that you're not alone. Many student athletes deal with depression, anxiety, eating disorders, and other mental health struggles. If this is the case, speak to someone like a counselor, a parent, a trusted adult, or your fellow teammate. Adults who are supporting a student athlete should be aware of the signs. A student athlete who is experiencing mental health difficulties might have constant fatigue, loss of appetite, mood swings, apathy, or even declining grades and/or social isolation. A student athlete's mental health can be severely affected by an injury. An athlete's entire life becomes about their sport. And when they lose the ability to play, it can take a huge toll mentally. As we continue to reduce the stigma around mental health, hopefully more middle and high school level student athletes will feel confident discussing their health, whether it be mental or physical. The Triple Threat podcast will be adding a psychology aspect in season 2. We will be doing our part to help destigmatize mental health when it comes to student athletes. So subscribe on your favorite podcast listening platform so you never miss an episode. Now let's get back to the interview.
But don't forget about the people the person that produces the music. You talk about your dad was a bass in the music, your mom wrote poetry, and you're a product of that. And the same thing you do. Talk about. I want you to tell it. Talk about that.
Yeah, man. So I have 4 daughters, Devonna, Jasmine, Mary, and Janae. Janae is my baby, and she's 27. She's actually a rapper as well, and she is amazing. And I'm not saying it because it's my daughter. I'm saying it because it's true. And she also produced my music for the last 5 Mike Hostilo commercials. So the Mike Hostilo tracks, when you hear the music, that's all my daughter.
That's awesome.
And I am. What happened is a few years ago, we was working with a company who used to, they'll send me the music and ask me if I like it. If I like it, we'll use it. If not, they'll send me something else. We did that. And so once my daughter started getting into music and I realized that she was good at it, now I want to market her too. I want to promote her because inside promoting is how you're supposed to do, right?
Sure.
And so she sent me some tracks and I was like, yeah, that's nice, but that's not really for the commercial. And so I'll tell her I need a banger. And what she like to say is, Daddy, when you need a banger, you need something that's going to ride in the car, right? Because a lot of people going to listen to the radio, to television. So a lot of people going to see the television commercial, but those television commercials also play the same audio on the radio. Right. And so that's the test. The test is it going to sound really good in the car? And so she's been doing my music, and one of my favorite things I like to hear people say is, man, the commercial sounds like a track on an album. Like, it doesn't sound like what we would think a commercial would be, right. Especially not a lawyer commercial, but it sounds like, okay, well, so what's the next track about? Right. So I'm grateful to have my daughter doing my music. Janae, she's, she has her and her partner is at Euphoria Studios here in Savannah. So yeah, man. So I just have a lot of fun, man, and plus it's cool being able to work with your daughter, man, and she don't give me no slack neither, bro. She, For sure. You need to do that again.
For sure. And again, I relate, teammates to this concept and working with your teammates, because when the investigators, you got a slew of people that you work with, different personalities, different situations. Talk about your team and how effective they are, in making everything work.
My team is great, man. I have a team member in Augusta, a team member in Columbus, a team member in Savannah, a team member in Macon, Savannah, Columbus, Augusta, and Charleston, right? So my team is first, I have to say that we are the best. I'm gonna say that first. I'm gonna put that out there. And the thing about the team, as far as what we do is, we have to all be people, right? Because we are your first responders as far as the Mike Hostilo Law Firm is concerned when it deals with clients. We are the first responders. We're the first people they see. We are the people that build the connection with them. So if they're not really rocking with us, if they don't get a good vibe from us, then they're probably not going to, let us handle the case. So we have to have people that are people. And the thing, I'm a people person, right? So the thing about that is, if you're not a people person and you're trying to trick me to make me think that you're a people person, I'm going to know that you're not a people person because I'm a people person, right?
Right.
So all of my team, I'm blessed to have the whole team have that quality. I got Genovia over, Miss Genovia, she's over in the Macon area. Coach John is over in the Columbus area. KC is in the Savannah area. T-Mac Terrell is over in the Augusta area. I got the pleasure of having JP in the Charleston area with me. So my team is so solid that it doesn't feel like work. Like we have a text link. It's like, what up, fam? What up, fam? What up, fam? What up? And it's family. It's not like work at all with the team.
For sure.
I mean, everybody know their position. They play their position. So life, it's just, man, listen, I'm so grateful, man. I'm so grateful. I don't know.
For sure. Again, relating athletes in a situation with what you do, what's your mental game approach? Because for the game, athletes, we got to have we listen to Walkmans. Walkmans, that's old. We listen to
told you age a little bit.
Yeah, we listen to music and we kind of get our minds ready for to compete. What's your mental approach when you getting ready to go out and be that voice and be that first person that the clients can see?
For me, I like to my thing is just be relatable and don't lie, right? Because when people could talk to you and you feel like family to them, it's just easy. I mean, and I'm such a clown and I just have so much fun that I might walk into your house and I might see fishing rods, and then I have the conversation about fishing rods, right? And I know a little bit about fishing rods because Dad had a boat. So, and then I ultimately had to tell you that I don't like fishing because Dad had us on a boat all the time. But it's always a way to connect the people, and I believe that if you go, for me, I go into every situation with every client as that person is a friend that I already know. So I think people can feel that, right? I think I don't have so many clients. I go into their house and they call their cousins like, yo, this cousin right here. I had grandmamas offer me dinner and you can stay. I'm gonna be barbecuing next weekend. So it's just, I think when it's real, you could tell, I think it's real. So me, my mentality is just go treat somebody like I want grandma treated. People used to say, treat somebody like you want somebody to treat you. Well, I took it a couple of steps different. Treat a person like you want your grandparents treated, right? Because you don't want your grandparents treated all kind of way at all.
Right.
So I'm gonna treat you like I would like somebody to treat my grandparents.
That's awesome. I'm gonna steal that one too, if you don't mind.
Yeah, you can have that. That's free agent, bro. That's free agent.
So one of the questions I want to ask you, again, the lessons you learned from corporate America, right? Because we could be on our own, having our own business, entrepreneurs, but it's a whole different climate when you go into corporate America, right?
Right.
And I'm experiencing that because, again, going into this is probably my second or third, time or year kind of really experiencing that. So it's been different for me. So what's your take on going from non-corporate to corporate America?
I understand that a lot of times in corporate America, the upper echelon is not really aware, right? Because a lot of times you have the mid to lower level management that is conduit to the upper level management. So a lot of times people don't know how to have power, right? And I've managed 118 people at once. So power, managing people, that's nothing. And I think the problem is, to be a good manager, you have to know how to be a good leader. I mean, to be a good leader, you have to know how to be a good follower. And a lot of people don't know how to follow, right? And also the other difference is, it's a difference between managing and bossing. So management, from my perspective, is this is what we're going to do. This is why we got to do it. If we don't do it this way, this happens. If we do it this way, then this happens. Where a boss is, go move that can, go move that shirt, go move, delegation only. And I think, again, treat people like you want to be treated. You don't. I have 4 daughters, and I can get the point to each of my daughters, but I give it to them different ways, depending on their personalities. And with the culture, with so much culture changing and so many different peoples and so many different energies and attitudes in different places, you have to understand that I'm going to say we need to do this, but I got to make sure that to each person gets the message, because people are going to take it in different ways. So I think for us, corporate America, I've learned that you have to make sure that, one, you stay alert on what culture is happening, what's going on in the culture. You can't be oblivious to that. And you have to understand that every individual is just that, an individual. They're different. Nobody is alike. No cookie cutters out there. Even perfectly rounded twins got something different about them. True. So. True.
He made a name for himself as a star for the College of Charleston basketball teams in the mid to late 90s. And now, Jermel President is doing what he can to make sure that the Charleston area kids have a chance to succeed on the court and in life.
So I want to, give some of that back to the community as well. After college and after playing professionally, I started the DAE Foundation just to be that wealth of knowledge to the kids in the community and parents as well.
College of Charleston Hall of Famer Jermel President said he saw a need for this while he was in school. So he founded the nonprofit DAE Foundation, and its philosophy for success is based on what he calls his oatmeal recipe.
Let's go and finish together.
Basically teaches the game of basketball, focusing on skills development, nutrition, and education. Not only SAT, ACT type stuff, but education for parents in how to navigate through the different levels of athletics.
In closing, we got something called an oatmeal recipe. An oatmeal recipe is skill development, education, and nutrition. And again, I'm making this comparison with an artist and a student athlete. It doesn't matter what a career you in. Everybody needs to have a skill. Everybody needs to be educated, and everybody needs to be nourished. So I'm going to throw these terminologies on you, and I want you to answer them and tell me, how do they apply to your everyday life? Talking about skill, let's say skill development. What's a certain skill that you use every day to make your job successful, that you use that you use in your life?
Hospitality. I understand hospitality. Hospitality, the act of being hospitable, is not about tips and gratuity. It's about making a person feel important. And so every day you have to be hospitable. And that was a thing that I learned from growing up in the South, being hospitable. Please, thank you, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And it's easy though. It's like, it's not hard to be nice. Just be nice. Right. So that hospitality is something I use every single day.
All right. How about education? And when we say education in sports, like as a coach, I get upset, and this probably sound like gibberish to you, but shooting a one-on-one when you got 17 fouls, or shooting 2 shots when you got 10 fouls, and the player is shooting a 3-pointer. You should drive and get to the basket. So using those different, understanding the education of the game to play better and more effective is what needs to happen. So you, from the education standpoint of laws, of the rules and regulations of different state laws, you have to know those things in order to relate to clients.
Yes.
How do you use, the importance of education in your everyday life?
With that part, it's like you just said, it's different laws in different places. And so I have to know this stuff. I have to know that when a client asks me about, for example, the statute of limitation in Georgia versus the statute of limitation in South Carolina. Statute of limitation is 3 years in South Carolina. It's 2 years in Georgia. And so I have to know these kind of things so that, like I said earlier, when you're trying to fake it, somebody will know. So that when I'm sitting in front of an individual, they're gonna know that I know what I'm talking about. Sure. And part of that is because Mike has a lot of info in our company. There's a lot of info that you can go read and that it'll help acknowledge you. Plus, we have like 14 to 17 lawyers, and all of them are really cool and knowledgeable. And I don't hesitate to ask them anything. I will ask them a question in a minute. Right. And that's kind of inside helping me, right? Because now I'm not necessarily getting it from the book with the book words and all of that stuff. I'm getting it from an individual that does this every day. And as far as the education, I like to tell people a lot, just clowning, because I have fun. That I've been to college twice. First time to the concert, second time I went to pick up my cousin. So. But they were playing basketball when I went to pick them up.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And the last one, Rick, is nutrition.
Yeah.
How important is nutrition to you, and how do you apply it to your everyday life?
Nutrition is great. I'm a little bit overweight, and that's not, anybody with eyes can see that. But I am in the process of wife and I are doing smoothies. So we're doing smoothies. I brought a treadmill, and so just trying to make a healthier life of it, and I can't lie and tell you that. I mean, I could, but I'm not. I can't lie and tell you that I get on the treadmill every day for an hour, and I'm not gonna tell you that. Right. But I am working on it. But I am moving, and the fact that I got you in my world now, that helps me out. Because we had that conversation at lunch. But you I was like, I don't eat beef. I don't eat chicken. Yeah.
Like, what? You don't eat chicken? And I'm like, nah.
Yeah. And I think I had the double pork chop sandwich, and I'm just, but yeah, man. So I'm working on it. Definitely working on it. I'm not perfect at it, but I am working on it.
We're gonna get you there. We're gonna work on it together. That's what we're gonna
Facts.
do.
I love it.
All right, Rick. Well, that kind of concludes our interview, man. I think it went well. I think it's something that the community just want to hear you. When I go to places locally, everybody's asking, "Hey, where's that guy? Does he same question? Does he really rap?" I'm like, yeah, well, he's the guy. He's the guy.
Can you tell him I said this? I told my mother I make her proud, and right now I think I'm doing it. I don't curse in none of my verses because I figured that I'd ruin it. Subconsciously, I think about it. Anytime I write my verses, it wouldn't have the same effect if I wrote with all of that cursing. The system figured I'd be wilding out. 9 and 40 cow clapping. Never mind me, I was always known for rapping. Made it out the hood and doing good without the trapping. License to carry because you never know what happened. So keep the bottom feeders on the top. That's what I'ma be honestly. Mama said modesty is the best policy. So I keeps it real low key, and I'm never bragging or doing something crazy like having my pants sagging. They calling that a style, but I'm grown. I don't care. What kind of man wants another man to see his underwear? We all need to man up. Real men stand up. You get out of the line until you learn to pull your pants up. Irks me when I see it. Who am I to be your damper? Son-in-law don't sag his pants. Grandsons don't sag their pampers. There you have it. That's 3 different generations of men with the testicular fortitude to not be pressured by your trend. Was a mountain in my way, it wouldn't move, but I'll try it. Ozzy wrote the rules to game, so I abide by it. He told me to pay attention. Focused on the test and said if I kept my hands high that I could catch every blessing, well, if it's mine. I own it, deserve it, there's no question. I gave those fools jewels next time I'm charging them for lessons. MCs be wilding out, it's like they doing the most, claiming they so much better than clever when they ain't even close. They gonna be mad when they see them 32s on Ghost. All I need is a Cuban cigar when it's time to toast. Eminem, the rap god, I'm just the rap wizard. Do it like it's nothing to me, and that's because it isn't. I mean, it's second nature. It's the way that I flow. When you were destined to be great, that's just something I was told. Every day until I make it, I'm a hustle and flow. Put some respect on my name, and I ain't gonna say it no more. And you don't want the drama, the problems you couldn't handle. Pop up with the rap game like a handle scandal, but throw you on the man on the bullet like a candle. Used to spit garbage, someone leaving shambles. Peter Piper was picking peppers and rhymes, rocking rhymes. I was in the booth writing, just perfecting my lines. JP, love you, boy.
There's no more need to be said. No more need to be said.
Hey, man, I appreciate you for having me, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so honored and grateful that Mike Hostilo and the DAE Foundation has partnered up, and I just look for great things. I can't wait to get back over there with you, and we gonna turn this city out, let them see what power is about,
Sure.
When you got two power players getting together, what?
Unstoppable, baby. Unstoppable, baby. That's what's up. Already.
Salute, King.
Yes, sir. We see you soon. Thank you. Thank you for your time too, big man.
Thank you. One time.
So there it goes, guys. Another one in the books. I want to thank Mr. Willis, Mr. Do Yourself a Favor, of coming on and sharing his information on how he became the brand ambassador for Mike Hostilo and moving forward, how he's going to use his presence, use his skills to keep pushing and helping families through the industry of personal injury. As I said before, the DAE Foundation and Mike Hostilo Law Firm have partnered up to do more things in the community, do more events in the community. Actually, we have a book bag drive that's coming on August 10th for kids in the community that need some extra school supplies for this upcoming year. So stay tuned to some other things we got coming up. DAE Foundation and Mike Hostilo Law Firm. We'll be right back. Don't forget to subscribe to the Triple Threat Podcast on your favorite listening platform. We are live on Apple, Google, Spotify, or anywhere else you listen to your podcast. That's Triple Threat spelled 3 R-I-P-L-E 3 H-R-E-A-T. Triple Threat Podcast. We'll be right back.
What Jermel is doing with the DAE Foundation and the approach he's taking to help develop young athletes, first of all, getting them prepared from the academic standpoint, which, as you know as well as I do, Bobby, that's the most important element, to try to get them to eat healthy, to be able to train properly, to get the proper education, and then hopefully for those who are talented enough to have a chance to move on to perhaps even get a free education by going off to college. But I love what Jermel is doing. It's a wonderful program. Hopefully more people in the community will get behind it, and some of the businesses involved as well, to help sponsor this program, because these are the kind of things that every community needs, looking out for the best interest of the youth. The future of this country is in our youth, and everything that we can do to help prepare them better for that is absolutely wonderful. And I can't express adequately enough my admiration and respect for what Jermel is doing, and hopefully he'll get a lot of help from a lot of people.
You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Jermel President, and on Twitter at President Jermel. Make sure to subscribe to this podcast, as I'll be bringing you a new interview every month.